welcome to Meadow Park for live coverage of this Adobe Women's FA Cup quarter-final tie between the most decorated club in the competition's history, Arsenal, and fellow WSL club Brighton and Hove Albion.
Arsenal are the Women's FA Cup winners.
And it comes for Cankovic to nod in Blackstenius, and there it is. It's Kiko Seke. And Kim Little makes sure. Brighton in complete control.
Arsenal are surely through now.
Great times for the Gunners right now. A late defeat at Stamford Bridge in midweek didn't stop them going through to Europe's Final Four. A phenomenal 11 straight wins across so many competitions before that. They're on top of the world, still going in Europe, and they still have a glimmer of hope that they might snatch away the WSL crown before it goes on Manchester City's head. Today, though, it is about the FA Cup. Nobody has won it more. The record 14-time winners, though, have gone 10 long years without lifting it. And the reason that they didn't win it last season was because Liverpool came here and surprised everybody, a Liverpool side that was captained by Taylor Hines, who is in to start in a much changed Arsenal lineup today. She'll be at left back. We'll confirm those teams for you shortly. Up front, with Alessia Russo on the bench, Stina Blackstenius sometimes has to wait for her opportunities to start. Sometimes she plays with Russo. Well, today she is up there and she is the main deal, already in double figures again, despite limited amounts of starts for the prolific Swedish international forward. Arsenal with games in hand, third in the Barclays WSL. As I mentioned, 14-time winners. It's almost twice as good as the next best. Knocked out in the last 8 this stage last season. 9 wins in their last 10, and there's even an asterisk on that one defeat because that was a second leg late loss at Chelsea when they were essentially already through to Europe's last 4. So, what a test for Brighton today. They've not had a great season, but it's not been a bad one either. Every bit the mixed bag. They're bang in the middle of the league table. A home win over Forest and an away win at West Ham have got them here, and they'll be hoping that the pounding schedule for their oppo might just be starting to take its toll. They defied the odds in 23 to make it through to the semis of this competition and were a fraction away from knocking out Manchester United to make it to Wembley. They'll need some of that mentality here for sure, and in terms of winning mentality, well, Fran Kirby has it by the bucket load. A multiple trophy winner in her time at Chelsea, and indeed lost the 2016 final to Arsenal, the last time the Gunners were victorious. Kirby not so prolific these days. Kiko Seke very much is into double figures in all competitions this season, essentially as a makeshift forward in the long-term absence of Michelle Aguiman, the Arsenal loanee. Back from the Asia Cup, hugely important player for them anyway, but especially so this season. There are some facts and figures on the guess. 6 out of 12, and that's probably going to be the limit of it for them. They're a big cluster in behind them in the league table, trying to get that 6th place from them. Couple of semi-finals for Brighton, out in round 5 last season, but their overall form pretty good at the moment, as you can see. Well, a lot of Arsenal's matches being played at the Emirates this term. This one here, they are back at Meadow Park, where they have enjoyed so many good times, these Arsenal fans. But 10 years since the FA Cup for a team that used to have it almost permanently in their collection. Well, it is a very long time since that one Dan Carter goal at Wembley beat Chelsea, 2016. And although they are a favourite, Most of these players were involved when here on this pitch almost exactly a year ago. They hosted Liverpool. They were a strong favourite, and they lost by 1-0. So it very much can happen. This is the first of these Adobe Women's FA Cup quarter-final ties. With Charlton and Liverpool later, and a couple more games tomorrow. Arsenal going so well on multiple fronts. Met Brighton just once this season. The reverse league meeting is coming up in a few weeks' time, actually. It was only an own goal that saw the Gunners through, 1-0. Abby Byrne, the referee, and here they come. Well, Arsenal really are having some season. With how much silverware, though, will it end? They have been a winning machine over the last few months, and they'll be favourites today for sure to come through their second quarter-final of the week. The Gunners used to own this trophy. It's been way too long since their name was on it. They host Brighton today, with both aiming to be the first name in the last four. The underdogs coming from the south coast to the north of the capital, looking to do what they did 3 years ago, upset the odds and make it through. Well, René Slegers has a fine squad and so many inform options. Rotation a necessity right now given the workload. 6 changes from the 11 Champions League starters in midweek, but look at the quality of those coming in, including Mead, Marnham and Kelly as a fresh trio behind Blackstenius. Codina comes into central defence, and both the fullbacks change as well. Young Holmberg at right back and Taylor Hines at left back. Well, there had to be at least one Brighton change today. Rosa Kafaji can't play because she's on loan from Arsenal. In the long-term absence of another Gunners loanee, Michelle Agyemang, Kiko Seke has really stepped up. 10 goals this season for the makeshift striker in a little bit of a reshuffle. It's Manuela Vanegas that comes in for Kafaji, while at a choice, Charlize Rule swaps in for Rachel McLaughlin. Two-0 winners over Aston Villa, Arsenal in the new year, and then 3-0 winners over Bristol City. Each of those ties containing a Kim Little goal, her only 2 goals of this season, in fact. So she's got a 100% record to keep up. As for Brighton, beat Nottingham Forest. And then a slightly closer affair away at West Ham in the last round. They were 2-0 up for a while. West Ham got one late, but Brighton through. What a season for René Slegers. Champions Cup trophy already theirs. This would be quite the feather in his cap. Danilo Vidosic, one of the 5 coaches new to the WSL the summer before last. Nice for Brighton to have some consistency. They had a lot of coaches in not much time at all prior to him. Seagulls skipper Maisie Simons is going to kick off. So here we go then with the first tie of the Women's FA Cup quarter-final weekend. Charlton-Liverpool later on. Holders Chelsea play Tottenham tomorrow before Birmingham meet Manchester City. Who's going to be the first name into the last four then? Brighton 1-0 winners at Leicester last time out. First league win for a little while. Cordina there, who had a bit of a ropey first half in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final with Chelsea and was hooked at half-time. Wasn't brought on midweek when Steph Catley got an early injury, with Rene Steggers preferring to play Katie McCabe into central defence, which must have been a bit of a stinger for Cordina, but she's in today. So too Taylor Hines here, part of the Liverpool team. Former Liverpool captain, of course, and it was Liverpool who won here on quarter-final weekend last term. That's a clever ball in behind. Offside. Risky challenge that from Minami on Blackstenius. Doesn't matter now. Shamaka Nadozic, really good goalkeeper. Will be expecting, I'm sure, to be heavily tested by a red-hot Gunners front line. Yes, they were shut out in midweek, but as I said earlier, there's a big asterisk on that defeat for Arsenal. They had a 2-goal lead coming into the Champions League decider with Chelsea. They didn't have to score. Got to defend here, though, and that is a wonderful hit coming in. And a really good stop from Daphne van Domselaar. Jelena Cankovic with a super strike. Looked like it was heading for the roof of the net. It very much was. Domselaar made a couple of brilliant, huge saves in that second half at Stamford Bridge midweek. She seems to be back in again, first choice, but her and Annika Borba really have been in and out between the posts for the Gunners this term. Pretty much half and half a season each, but it's Van Domselaar who has the starting gloves at the moment, and that is a fantastic save early on here. Brighton corner, and they're massing at the far post and making their move now. Up in the air from Haley, nodded on by Haley, and smashed through. Charlize Rule, the Aussie, must have thought that was good when she left it. Flying through the crowd. A strong hit. Great pressure from Arsenal early on here. From on the Arsenal goal, should I say, here. In the side today, the Aussie Charlize Rule. Kim Little, I think, who gets the block in. Seke keeping the Brighton pressure on the Gunners here. Still in play. Corner. Last one was a big threat. Cankovic again. Lower and easier cleared. Smelia Homburg, the youngster, who's pretty impressive start to Gunners' life, has allowed Emily Fox to have the odd break at right back. Young Holmberg coming in occasionally. Kirby. Ollislagers. Pressure from Marnham, trying to get Arsenal up the field here. It's all Brighton, these opening five. That's another searching ball that needs dealing with. Awkward bounce. And then a powder puff shot in the end. Still needed saving. Manuela Venegas. With the first and the second efforts there. Who'd have thought this 5 minutes in, Arsenal can't get out. They might have done them with a free kick. Chloe Kelly thought she should have had one, but the front players haven't touched the ball yet. Long way to go. With a really positive start from the underdogs here. Simons, Brighton throw. Little. 3 times a runner-up in the FA Cup with Arsenal, 3 times a winner. Offside against Fran Kirby. Good call. What a winning machine she has crafted here, Renee Slegers. Fran Kirby used to be part of one of those at Chelsea. 8 times a WSL winner, 7 domestic cups. Part of that really ambitious recruitment drive from Brighton 2 summers ago. Haley here. Venegas just able to come here. And it hit Haley. That wasn't the target. Marnham was the target of the pass from Taylor Hines. Caitlin Hayes. In the middle with Minami, that has been a pretty settled back two for Brighton this term, and they'd have expected to be working harder than this in the opening exchanges. I'm sure that time will come. Chloe Kelly there. It's an 18-year-old in the squad, but didn't play the last time Arsenal won the FA Cup. 2016. Amelia Holmberg was 9. Nicely done, right idea. Ollie Slagers, who's playing just a little further up today. Not quite on the end of it. Advanced position for Marisa Ollie-Slagers with no Rosa Kafaji. So Venegas in at left back and Ollie-Slagers up that line a bit. Nice way to pass. First hint of gunner's danger here. Chloe Kelly into Blackstenius. Mariona Caldente finds the room. And it's the first save of the game. Fortune Makanadozi. Pretty comfortably done, but needed saving. Not the goal threat this term, of course, Mariona Caldente, because she's generally playing a lot deeper. Doesn't mean you lose the knack, just the volume of opportunities to show it. Across all the competitions, only 5 times the score of this term. And Arsenal's first effort on target, indeed their first effort at all, was on target. And now they have their first corner. Big shout of keeper, comfortably taken. Just 11 wins in a row, although that's brilliant enough on its own. for that midweek game at the Bridge for Arsenal. It was 18 wins out of the last 20. Absolutely incredible. Here's Mead. Looking early for Blackstenius, but speaking of early, there's Nadozi, who read it nice and quick. Rare touch in this opening 10-minute spell for Beth Mead. Twice a runner-up in this competition with the Gunners. Beth Mead never won it. I'd suggest it'd be more special for her than anyone out there. Worthy to go all the way in this competition this term. Holly Slagers needs a sure touch and finds it. It's just settled down to a more even contest after that early Brighton push. Sometimes with these games you think the underdog has to make it count while they're having that time in the sun. Might not get another chance, we'll see. By Minami. Straight up in the air by Taylor Hines. Haley in the field. She scored in the FA Cup this season. Her penalty is Nottingham Forest. Jankovic. Cut out by Wilbur Moy, but it's a heavy touch. Straight onto it. Vanegas. He's not been backward in coming forward. Little touch from Haley, nice idea. Scrambled defending from Arsenal again. Forward by Caitlin Hayes. Again. Minami. Good squeeze here from Arsenal, but just a bit too keen there, Beth Mead. That's a foul. Clever pass that from Caitlin Hayes. Seike's pulled wide, Kirby filling the gap in the middle. And one of many WSL stars who are out at the Asia Cup, Kiko Seike. So many in that final. Australia against Japan. 18 out of the 22 starters. WSL players. Plenty more on the benches too. Not quite from there, Chloe Kelly. Not quite. His ball is cut out. And it's just quietened down the first Adobe Women's FA Cup quarter-final here. Mariona Caldente into Frida Marnham as Arsenal look to build themselves into it. Sure they won't be quiet for long. Kelly trying to flip it round the corner. Hayes was there with the challenge. Caldente fires one into Mead. What a great ball, lovely touch too. And the run's coming from Holmberg. Good defending, nice Arsenal move. Ollie Slugger's there in the nick of time to block the attempted effort from the young Swede. Blackstenius was waiting in the middle to pounce, that's for sure. Deep from Mead. Lottie Bobbin Moy was interested there. Taylor Hines has it. Rule has followed it. Rule has done her job. Easy enough. Played around that mini press very tightly indeed is Jelena Jankovic. Good ball. Well tackled. Bobbin Moy. Side flag is up against Stina Blackstenius here. Nami here was another Asia Cup final player. She came off the bench. Ford, Cooney, Cross and Catley of Arsenal all started that final. Superb run this time last year as well at Arsenal and the Renault Sluggers, particularly in home matches. They were banging in goals, just given themselves too much to do in terms of the league, and that is the probability this term too. They just had a wobble at the start of the autumn. In fact, it was the own goal 1-0 win at Brighton that ended their 4-game winless streak. But it is that streak that really has put pay to realistic title hopes. They could still do it. They may well win all 5 of their remaining games. You wouldn't put it past them at all. The problem is they need Manchester City to take 4 points or fewer from theirs. Albeit they have 3 matches to go. It's not out of the question. Well, Mead is still down. Advantage being played here. Arsenal could put the ball out, could have put the ball out, but they haven't. Mead is up again. Beloved of these parts, Beth Mead. Against the ripple of applause. Chloe Kelly back to Taylor Hines. Into Little, quickly surrounded. Clever ball. Frida Marnham running from deep was onside. Cross coming from Chloe Kelly here. Marnham. Now, will it be? Yes, it will. Didn't look like a terrible foul, did it, on first viewing? But the point was, Frida Marnham had got beyond that. Jelena Cankovic giving it plenty back, having been cautioned. Cankovic was wrong side. Yeah, it's a little touch. It's fairly even a pull, but letter of the law, that's a caution. And it may well have been far more dangerous for Brighton's defence than a free kick is from here. She's going to behave herself now. The standout save of this quarter-final so far has come from Daphne van Domselaar here. Technically, an own goal from her is what saw Taylor Hines' Liverpool team through here at this stage last season. One of those odd goals. Sophie Roman-Haug of Liverpool hit the shot. Same end Van Domselaar's in goal for now, if I remember, and off the post, back onto the keeper who dived and in. It's probably not a bad thing for Arsenal, with all the winning they've been doing lately, that they have that little reminder that just because you're at home and a well-fancied favourite counts for something, but not everything. Ruben Moy, Luxstenius, to Holmberg and Mead, who seems to be okay after whatever it was ailing her earlier. Ruben Moy's been really good and solid lately. Much needed, especially in a campaign where Leah Williamson has been in and out, well, more out, far more out than in. Mead is down again here. Here's White. So, cumbersome challenge, shall we say, from Manuela Vanegas. But a fairly high leg and a fairly high arm that the Colombian retreats without further punishment beyond this set piece, halfway through the first half. Having earned the free kick, she's going to take it. It's a long way out. I don't think that's a bad ball. Runners couldn't get there. Squad depth being lent upon pretty heavily right now for René Slegers. Playing catch-up in terms of league matches played because of the Champions Cup campaign, of course. Ongoing European title defence. Half a team of changes midweek. Another half a team again today. It is a luxury, especially when almost all your options are fit. Steph Catley picked up an injury at Stamford Bridge midweek. Obviously still no Leah Williamson. Cooney Cross absent for personal reasons, but in general terms, with the workload they've had, to be here in early April with this many options available, it's more on the side of good luck with injuries than bad, that is for sure. I still thought they should have had better luck with that throw-in decision, not given. Ollie Slugger's here, the regular, one way and another on the left, the Dutch international for Brighton. It was her own goal that settled the October meeting in the WSL. And they will meet again, penultimate game of the season. I think that's pretty true play from Beth Mead. She got herself in trouble here. I think that's her foul, if anything, not Ollie Slager's, but that's the way it's gone. You don't get to where Beth Mead is in the game without having a few tricks up your sleeve. Now, the last one of these, she laced right into towards the 6-yard area. This is a little deeper. Blackstenius with the header, and well, that doesn't necessarily need to be cleared there. It might invite more pressure. Blackstenius here. Well, the cutback was on. She's rolled Minami. And in the middle, Frida Marnham was just waiting for a relative tap-in. Dozy was already on the deck. I think if that gets to Marnham, that's 1-0. Venegas, Arsenal have grown into this tie as we suspected they might. Beth Mead at the forefront of it. Here's Mariona Caldente. It's the head of Minami, and another gunner's corner is coming. Right in front of a little pocket of Brighton fans in the sunshine behind that goal. Low ball in, that was awkward. That really could have gone anywhere. I think it hit Frida Marnham actually of Arsenal before anyone else got a touch. Confidently striding out, Nottingham and Moy. Groans as it runs away from Jankovic. Arsenal have it back, and they're just starting to boss the ball here. Mead, a little lucky to get it back from Venegas. Holmberg. The starting position now is considerably higher than it was for the first 10 or 15. Little. Well past 400 Arsenal appearances now, the 9th season of her second spell as a gunner. One of the very best there's ever been. Holmberg into Mariona Caldente. And Little. What a pair to have in midfield. Beth Mead. Medina to Hines. Hines forward into Blackstenius. Chloe Kelly taking over now. Great ball! What a save from Ndozi! That had to be a goal. Stina Blackstenius denied from point-blank range. One huge stop at each end. The quarter-final that remains goalless as a result. Chloe Kelly onside here. Arsenal starting to push hard. Brighton haven't cleared it yet. Well, they might now. They might do more than that. There's a break on. Kirby spotting Kiko Seike and finding her. All on her own for now. Hayley doing her best to catch up. Kiko Seike needs some help. Or something brilliant. Closing ranks. Arsenal have sorted that one out. right idea, but overhit. Look at this ball from Chloe Kelly here. It's Holmberg making the run in from right back. All you can do as a keeper is put on a spread and hope. Well, there you go. All Brighton for the first 10 minutes. All Arsenal recently. Simon's getting there just ahead of Caldente, Jankovic and Haley. And an attempted subtle foul there from Kim Little, and it was spotted by Abby Byrne. Little blindside roll. A wily old manoeuvre, and not one she got away with. Venegas only just over Kiko Seike, had just a tiny pocket of space there for a minute. Holmberg. Still 19. Emilia Holmberg. Blackstenius here. That's her fellow Swede in field, and here is Holmberg again. Really noticeable just how much she is getting involved in the attack and dragging Ollie Slaga's back to be essentially a second left back at the moment. Overhit by Bubben Moy. Brighton's defence can have a little breather. Kelly. Frida Marnham scored in the last 16 against Bristol City. Victoria Pelliver got the other, she's on the bench today. Holmberg again adding an extra attacking body for the Gunners. Chloe Kelly. Tough pass she's trying to pull off there. It might get there anyway. Towards Blackstenius. Kim Little trying to make that happen. That's one way to launch it and get your side up the field a bit, because they haven't been up here for the last few minutes, Brighton. Haley, Kirby, and now Kiko Seike. Neatly done by Mariana Caldente. Chloe Kelly's got her head up. Plenty of red and white coming. Plenty of blue and white retreating. Kelly playing that ball again. It's actually Mead. She and Kelly have swapped sides there, just to confuse everybody. That's a nice take, and a slightly pulled finish from Stina Blackstenius. Despite, I'm not going to say limited game time, but relatively limited for someone of her talents and her calibre. She's into double figures for goals again. She was last term, including that one in Lisbon. Won the Champions League for Arsenal. First trophy for Renee Schlegers. The world tag since added. What about this season? Gotta say, there is in with as strong a chance as anyone in this competition. They've got Lyon coming up in the Champions League semi-finals at the end of this month. First leg of that, second leg at the start of May. Slugger's Jankovic, wonderful shot right at the start of this tie. So brilliantly tipped over by Van Domselaar. He's actually not had much work to do since then, one way and another. Jankovic again. Simons beaten to it. Taken by Simons. Foul from Chloe Kelly. Just got back in the goals recently, Chloe Kelly. And we've got a very long time without one. Scored in the Champions League against Chelsea, which followed a hat-trick against West Ham. Months without a goal before that. I mean, in fairness, she did miss December and January with a knee problem. That hat-trick against West Ham, Arsenal's first in the WSL, incredibly, since with Miedemar in 2020. Scarcely believable, that. We've since had another, of course, in 20 minutes from Alessia Russo the other day against Tottenham. Holmberg, that was a risky pass, and Brighton have pinched it back and given it away. That's cheap. Got to take advantage of moments like that, or Arsenal will get you eventually. Not with that pass from Freddie Marnham, they won't. 6 minutes left of the first half. Meadow Park. And all outcomes equally possible. Okay, back to Simons. Asking a fair bit of Ollie Sluggers. Safety first from Amelia Holmberg this time. Maybe she's learnt a lesson from that dangerous pass. What a chance for her first Arsenal goal today. Assisted twice on her full WSL debut. West Ham, the youngest player to do that in the WSL. What's Chamaka Ndozi up to here? A little bit risky, but got the pass off to her captain eventually, as Kirby keeps it moving. And Rule to Jankovic. Back to Kirby. Lovely. Perfect weight for Madison Haley here. Two in the middle, needed a better cross. Not too bad in there today, especially with the breeze. Might have to rethink it. The cup final tends to be a bit warmer then. Venegas, Minami. Pretty even half this. Arsenal certainly dominating it latterly. Slagers here with their head up and a bit of space, rapidly being closed down by Vauban Moy. Kirby. Scored in 2 final victories against Arsenal, Frank Kirby. You know, Chelsea have won the FA Cup 5 times since Arsenal last did. That's got to hurt. Rule. Offside flag up. You can see the licence there, not for the first time in this half that Manuela Venegas has. Her and Ollie Sluggers kind of interchangeable when the Colombian goes. Ollie Sluggers will fill in at left back where she's pretty regular anyway. Nice to have that option and that fluidity. Even more important in the absence of Kapaji that someone is doing that and adding to the attacking threat up there, so Seike isn't too alone. Haley doing it on the other side. She's got a race on here with Taylor Hines, Madison Haley. Left Mead got away with one of them earlier, it went the other way. This one has gone against her. Madison Haley saying thank you. It was too strong for her. Not subtle that time, not subtle enough from Mead. A minute and a bit to go. A chance for a free delivery into that gunner's box. To deliver it. All too often there isn't someone right around the back from an attacking point of view on free kicks. All over Planet Football, that was another example of it. Maybe that wasn't the plan. Maybe she can expect someone to have been there. Anyway, that free hit has come and gone. A little slippery there for Little. Back on it to mop up now. Partner in there, Caldente takes over. One added minute, and we're into it. Here's Madison Haley for Brighton, who started the half strongly. Can they finish it? With something to threaten the Gunners' goal. Minami. Venegas. Ollie Slagers. Venegas will keep running. Ruben Moy on the cover, which means she's out of defence, which means Frank Kirby's got a chance of making something happen here. It was awkward though. Been on the floor a fair bit this first half, Beth Mead. But it does mean that every time she gets up, she can get a round of applause, I suppose. And that's it for the first half. It's a goalless quarter-final so far. One major moment in each box. Charlie's rule with an effort blocked on the line by Kim Little. It was a good save as well, in fairness, prior to that from Van Domselaar, while at the other end, Holmberg from point-blank range was denied by the sprawling Shamaka Nadozi. It's a decent tie, and it hasn't absolutely had lift-off just yet. Someone's got to win it. No one is so far. Arsenal 0, Brighton 0 at the break. So a goalless first half in the first of the 4 quarter-final ties in the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Brighton started this one really impressively. They got after Arsenal right from kick-off, and this typified it. Kim Little, outsmarted by Jelena Jankovic, whose lovely effort was absolutely goal-bound and really needed saving. Daphne Van Domselaar making that save. That led to a corner, which Jankovic took. There was a big chance from that as well. In and amongst the melee, Charlie's rule struck one firmly towards the far corner, and 100% it is in if the Gunners' captain Kim Little isn't there. Really bright start from the Seagulls. Let's have a look at this. Kim Little defending that far post, and a good job too from the Gunners' point of view. Brighton absolutely the better side for the first 10 minutes. Arsenal couldn't get out actually, but then they started to ace themselves into the contest, and they've become the dominant side since without finding the net. Mariona Caldente here just worked herself a little bit of space for the shot. It's a pretty comfortable stop for Shamaka Nadozi. A prompter and an assister of goals this term, Mariona Caldente, than she was last term when she was playing further forward and scoring tons. And this was a wonderful ball in from Chloe Kelly. The run from deep came from the young right back. Amelia Holmberg must have thought she was in for her first Arsenal goal. I think everyone did, except for Shamaka Nadozi. This will show you anywhere but where she put it, anywhere at all, and they were in. Stina Blackstenius getting the start up front for Arsenal today. And when Venegas was guilty of overplaying, the Swede had half a chance here. Really well taken on the chest. You can see what she was trying. Just pulled it wide. Not a ton of chances, and goalless at Meadow Park so far. Here's the first half in terms of the numbers. Quite a while. It was 5-1 to Brighton, but by the end of the half, Arsenal have managed 4 attempts, 2 of them on target. Corners and fouls are even. The only yellow card has gone to Brighton, and Arsenal just about overturned possession to being in their favour. Well, 3 more quarterfinals to come after this. Tomorrow we'll see Birmingham and Manchester, 2 cities meet. Later, Liverpool hope to reach their 2nd consecutive semi-final. They're playing Charlton. We're going to remind ourselves of how they got to this stage, beating Everton in the last round, with commentary coming from Nigel Adderley. While the current holders Chelsea face Tottenham at Kings Meadow tomorrow, having edged past Manchester United in round 5. Quick thinking from Sherkin Nuskin. Here's Kannerud. He's got beyond Janssen here. Can't be offside from a throw. Here comes Cuthbert. Great effort. Oh, and it's matched by the save. Tullis Joyce. That is a top bit of keeping, and it needed to be. That's the closest we've had to a goal in this tie, and it was very close indeed. Poked forward by Walsh for James. There's no flag here. Lauren James. It's another big save from Fallon Tullis-Joyce. Maybe just played on by Maya Le Tissier, her England colleague. United fans behind that goal fearing the worst. This is Park. Jess Park. Oh, what a hit! So unlucky. Won't even count as a shot on target, but it was brilliant. Plenty forward, Nuskin nearly there. Rougeau got a little bit of it. Dermot trying to keep the attack alive for Chelsea here. Carpenter. Berman helps it on, and Sam Kerr helps it in. Her again against Manchester United again. Off the bench, Sam Kerr. Finally, there's a goal in this tie. It needed one. It's got one. Le Tissier right into the crowd, and it's not been dealt with. It's in. Simia Rougeau. United weren't behind for long, and their own substitute has levelled this tie. It's only her 2nd ever United goal, forcing it past Hannah Hampton all square. Berman nodding it on. It's off the post and in. Extra time lead for Chelsea. Can they hang on this time? And it's Naomi Germer for the holders. It's her first Chelsea goal, and what a time to get it. Tullis-Joyce got a piece of the Berman header. Off the post it came, and there was Germer. 2-1. Tullis-Joyce is up, everyone's up. Now or never for Manchester United. Here's a Rougeau, back for Le Tissier. They're all up, she's gone for goal. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to do.
Mace. Oh, she's given the ball away to Thomas. Holland is in space. Blundell will try and get across. Holland delivers to the far post. Enderby is there, and she scored. Mia Enderby looks to have picked up an injury. She bravely attacked that ball from Kerry Holland. Courtney Brosnan had to go for it. It was a shuddering collision. Liverpool lead, but Enderby in some pain. Holland's free kick. Everton don't deal with it, and it's 2-0. Beata Olsen. The player who replaced Mia Enderby on the end of that. Everton were appealing for handball. Fernandez with the clearance into the body of Olsen, and she made no mistake. 2-0 to Liverpool. Holland's corner, high towards Fisk. It drops to O'Sullivan and Clark, and it's tipped over by Brosnan. Everton unable to deal with these Liverpool set pieces. And Gareth Taylor knows it should have been 3. Holland with another free kick, deeper this time, and Clark's shot kept out superbly by Brosnan. Well, she's keeping Everton in the FA Cup here, almost on her own. Kitagawa and Gabaro, she takes that down nicely, and she forces a fine save from Falk. Inma Gabaro with Everton's best effort so far. Clark, that's been given away to Payne. Low in towards Kramzar. Ghali! Oh, it's an own goal! Jennifer Falk was unlucky, but Everton are back in the game. Falk turning the shot from Ghali onto the post, but there was a double cannon, and it crept over the line. Everton looking to apply the pressure, but Silak trying to lead the counter-attack there. Olsen, Silak back on her feet. Olsen to her right, but she heads into traffic. But she finds Olsen, and it's an excellent save by Brosnan. Brosnan defiant, but Liverpool are heading through.
Liverpool through indeed, and they will be favourites. Away though to Charlton Athletic, who are going well in the Championship. That is the later one this Easter Sunday on Adobe Women's FA Cup quarter-final weekend. Monday sees the holders Chelsea at home to Tottenham. And Birmingham City, who were once a pretty big deal and hope to be again, are at home to the likely league winners Manchester City. That completes the draw. Well, we have at least 45 minutes to play at Meadow Park. No changes from either coach ahead of this second half. And no goals in this quarter-final tie. That is a surprise, and we don't expect it to last. Arsenal had a 2-goal lead to defend in European terms midweek. They did not score that night in their 11-game winning streak before that, which, funnily enough, itself began at Stamford Bridge in the WSL win there. They scored 37 times in those 11 wins. 3.5 a game, near enough. They've got a lot of different ways they can hurt you, but Brighton have limited them so far in this last 8 tie. It looks like at the last minute there, yes, Carla Camacho has come on for Brighton. Kiko Seike is the player who's gone off, their top scorer. Japanese colleague Nanami here. Ooh, that's a close one. Dina Blackstenius penalised for the challenge on Nanami. The whistle had gone, in fairness, from Abby Byrne. Is it a softie? There's a little bit of a grapple just here. It's one of those, you take a little bit of a risk if you go to ground, just in case the referee's going to deem that to be minimal contact. Seike, maybe that's management of minutes following her return from the Asia Cup, but obviously see any injury issue for her. But that is half of Brighton's goals this season that's just left the field. Camacho into the action there. A couple of goals in the other cup competition for Carla Camacho, one in the league. In from Real Madrid last summer. Generally more a substitute than a starter, but still had plenty of game time, Camacho. Getting a fair few touches early on as well, since her introduction. One's in towards her, but cut out by Kim Little. Long ball finds Madison Haley. Kirby trying to do likewise. Oh, Haley's done brilliantly! The Shucks on at Meadow Park. What power! See you later, Laia Cadena. And Madison Haley has hammered Brighton in front. That is a terrific goal. Initial ball up to her, and look at the angle she's having to run at here. But she has made light of that. When you're running away from goal like that, to get that kind of power on the finish, that is some hit. And some story. Arsenal 0, Brighton 1. Haven't seen much of Madison Haley in this quarter-final tie. Well, we have now. And she has that to add to the penalty she got a couple of rounds ago against Nottingham Forest. This one, potentially far, far bigger. Now then. Arsenal's men shocked in the FA Cup yesterday. Arsenal's women at home and an overwhelming favourite behind here. That'll focus the minds. Camacho into Haley. Dispossessed by Taylor Hines. Maybe history repeating itself. Liverpool nicking a 1-0 quarter-final win on this pitch a year ago. I didn't want to take the chance that that might not have made it. That's a pretty calm clearance, that, from Minami. Not so calm from Nadozi, actually. Dario Vidicic really needed others to step up with a goal or two, in general terms. Obviously today now as well, without Seke on the field. What a way to do it. Long time to defend a precious lead. Marnham, Chloe Kelly, looking for Marnham, who had actually been well tracked by Caitlin Hayes, to be fair, probably would have got there. Your first thought is, this will sharpen Arsenal up. Just coasting a little. Also ups the pressure. Turned into a useful ball. The whistle has gone because the flag went up on Blackstenius. Not to say that they haven't got tons of quality out there, but if Renee Sleggers is feeling like changing things up a bit, she's got tons of quality on her bench too. Russo, Ford, Smith, McCabe, etc. Kirby and Camacho. Oh, and that's a big save from Van Domselot. The substitute on target and on the drive again here, Carla Camacho. Good ball in towards Haley. Desperate defending. Taylor Hines did it very well. Otherwise, that might well have been 2-0. She's been on the field 7 or 8 minutes, Carla Camacho. She's had a ton of touches. Haley again. The target. Van Domselaar with the advantage of an arm and a glove got there first, and here's Chloe Kelly, and Arsenal just rocking a little bit here. They've given it back to Kirby, whose calm head will be much needed while Brighton have a lead. Nicely done to find out Maisie Simons. Haley again, the target. Oh, Cordina had the head start this time. The way that Madison Haley just powered past her for that goal. That was some acceleration, that. Little, clever pass. It's coming back though, and Camacho, tight angle for her. Finds his header. Kirby loitering behind her. Now, suddenly, the break is on. 3v3. Marnham with Mead out to her right. A little bit tightened up now, though. I don't think that was incisive enough from Frida Marnham. Holmberg. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? Well, it's ended up in between, and it's gone through everybody and out the other side.
Stop of the box, got back, keep it low.
There's the effort from Camacho earlier. Came through the legs. Holmberg, I think, before Van Domselaar made the save. That was a great cross and a really good bit of defending. Camacho making an impact, and look at what René Slegers is going to do in terms of impact. Looks like Ford and Smith and Russo. Right then, seen enough of that apparently. That's a foul. Chloe Kelly with the trip, and Charlie's rule. Treble change coming. It was an entirely fresh trio of starters in behind Blackstenius for today, and it looks like all three of them are going to make way for the players that they replaced in the lineup here. That's how you use the squad, I guess. A fine squad it is, but they're in trouble here thanks to Madison Haley here. Hoists a hopeful ball in there towards Camacho, and Van Domselaar grabs it without any issue. Smith, Ford and Russo coming soon. Got a full programme like Arsenal have, it can affect you a little bit in all of them eventually come April. The men's side perhaps finding that at the moment. People talk about 2 trophies or 3 trophies or maybe all the trophies, but sometimes you end up with nothing. Beth Mead got trodden on there. Her number may be up shortly anyway. That looked like a painful one. Studs on the top of the foot. Even more annoying if she is injured for René Slegers, because she was literally about to substitute her. Here comes that treble change. And multiple instructions too. Frida Marnham in that number 10 role has really not made things happen, I'm afraid, today. And so her number is up. And listen to the roar for her replacement. You can bet she'll make something happen. Leslie Russo. Caitlin Ford replacing Chloe Kelly on one flank, and Liv Smith replacing Beth Mead on the other. Not even waiting till the hour mark. She's being helped to her feet here. They've got the stretcher, Beth Mead. She's putting some weight on it. The fans chant her name. Well, that's better than it might have been. Olivia Smith had a costly red card in the other cup competition when they lost home to Manchester United. So, a goal at London City recently took it to a run of 5 in 6. Well, they need something, as Haley heads for goal again at the other end. And we know Russo's in form. That 20-minute hat-trick against Tottenham took her to 19 goals in all competitions this season, and that's for a player who gives so much else to the team. Ford scored against Tottenham on her return from the Asia Cup. They've got plenty of forwards in form, Arsenal. 3 new ones have just come on here. Taylor Hines is getting forward. She's onto the loose ball as well, behind Blackstenius. Just have a look here. Venegas caught her, accidentally I'm sure. Down the shin to ankle and then onto the foot. There's about 5 different ways that looked painful. Venegas. Ford straight into a 50-50. With her iffy teammate, Charlie's Rule. Holmberg driving forward. How many deflections were there? Goal kick. Good decision. Not that the home fans enjoyed it. Awkward bouncing ball for Minami from her own backwards header. Tangle between Venegas and Smith. In increasing desperation, the Gunners fans, not the players, the fans are really starting to appeal for absolutely everything, even when it's blindingly obvious that they didn't have a case. Here's Hines. To Van Domsela. Risky ball, Frank Kirby nearly onto Kim Little there. How many battles they've had in a million competitions, matches over the years. Didn't happen for Marnham. One brilliant ball in from Chloe Kelly that Holmberg couldn't finish. Arsenal's best chance, arguably, as Kirby wins Brighton another corner. There's half an hour to play. And the Seagulls, as it stands, are going to the semi-finals. Clock's going to take a while for them, though. Well, it'll go all too quickly for those in red and white. Kirby's going to take it. Free header round the back. 2-0. Caitlin Hayes. She wasn't marked. She didn't even have to jump much. How about this for a scoreline? Big problems for Arsenal now. With half an hour to go and 1 down, you still fancied they could find a way through. But now, Kadina's got attracted to the wrong space again, I think. I'm afraid, having been brought in, both goals are going to be slightly on her. But take nothing away from the Hayes header. First goal since one early in the season that put her team 1-up against West Ham, right back at the start of it. And look at that, Arsenal 0, Brighton 2. Half an hour to go in the quarter-final. Flag up against Blackstenius again, they can't afford that. She says she wasn't, must have been pretty close. She most definitely was, good decision. the sluggers hoisting it forward. The Gunners are going to have to be seriously risky now. Which opens the door for potential going the other way for Brighton to get another, but that's how it is. Gonna drop here for Caitlin Ford. Rule missed it. Dozy was diving, but Hayes with the header in front of her. Russo blocked. Haley. Oh, Alessia Russo, she thought with hard graft had won it back. Referee Abby Burns says she did it by foul means. Well, shoulder to shoulder, one leaning in. I think some of those you get, some you don't. Brighton grateful to get it. Just look at that. 9 Brighton attempts, 7 of them on target. 2 on target from Arsenal. I think both of those were in the first half. Happy band of supporters there behind that goal. Frank Kirby's taking the corner in front of them now. It's a very big seagull. Good delivery. Hayes was attacking it again there. Nodded up in the air by Rule and by Minami. Going to be a case of increasingly desperate defending from Arsenal and some pretty desperate attacking, you would think. Ford taking a risk in her own box, surrounded by blue and white. Here's Camacho, pulls it across, and it's nearly a tap-in for Kirby. Well, 2-0 is raising enough eyebrows. 3-0, that's unthinkable. But look how close it was to being that. On the right end of the quarter-final shock at Meadow Park 12 months ago, on the wrong end of it here as it stands. And this time, Blackstenius has stayed onside. Smith is in the middle, Russo's coming. And the cross brushes the top of the goal on its way out of harm's way. That's a better timed run. I think the ball had to come in one touch earlier. It's a slice anyway from the Swede. Scored against Villa. That's how Arsenal kicked off this cup run. They hadn't conceded till today. 2-0 against Villa, 3-0 against Bristol City. Kirby to Haley, whose fine goal started this brilliant Brighton second half. I'll tell you who else will be pleased, apart from Brighton, with this scoreline potentially, is Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester City, because in a set of quarter-finals you get one surprise and 3 that aren't. So maybe for them that'll make them think it won't be them. Kirby back to Maisie Simons, a very proud captain for how well her team have played here. The second half, the start of the game as well. Just a little too keen to win that one, the young skipper. Previously England youth captain as well, so No issue for one still relatively young wearing the armband. And serving Maisie Simons. There's Caitlin Ford. Arsenal needs something. They've got plenty of time to do it. Get one here and it's anyone's. And they've got a corner. That all-Aussie battle. Rule blocking forward. They didn't come here expecting to see this scoreline with 20 minutes to play. Away was the shout, and away it was from Caitlin Hayes. It might even have been her shout, actually. Do as I do as well as what I say. Hines getting on with the throw. Ford. No time to muck about into Blackstenius and back again. Mariona Caldente. Soft and comfortable for Chamaka Ndozi, who must have come here today thinking, I'm going to have to do a lot of good work to keep my team in this tie. She actually hasn't. Really important save in the first half. That's it. Arsenal, in relative terms, so far anyway, really blunted here. This is a team that were averaging 3.5 goals a game for the last 3 months. How close Fran Kirby was to making it 3-0 a moment ago. Scored the early opening goal in the last 16 at West Ham, and she's been gifted it here, Kirby. And it's another let-off for Arsenal. It could be worse. Smith, shocking pass. I presume it was meant for Kim Little. Scott had no chance there. Ford. Right idea. Just too much on it. Flag's gone up anyway. Not that Blackstenius got there. But the smart probing of Mariona Caldente and Kim Little behind a forward quartet now of Smith, Russo, Ford and Blackstenius. You would think surely Arsenal can fashion a couple of chances in the next 20 minutes at least. But then again, you'd have thought they'd have made more than they have in the 72 that we have had. Russo, the meat and the sandwich, absolutely squashed. Kirby. Codina could not afford to let that just run. Unusually quiet, isn't it? Rule. Minami. Vanegas forward in towards Camacho. Kim Little comes to collect. Clever pass. Russo. Under-hit it, doesn't matter now. Liv Smith's got it anyway. And there won't be a flag here. Ndozi's got to get there, and she does. Spotted that impressively early. .60-40 Arsenal the ball since going. 2-0 down. Snacks on the go for Van Moy. Not a bad pass either. Multitasking and all that. Camacho. Foul goes against Smith. And it's all going against Arsenal right now. Good graft. Really impressive Carla Camacho since coming on. Going both ways. Katie McCabe next to come from the Sleggers bench. No one's played more for Arsenal this season than her. Ford not behind in that regard, on the ball here. Clever ball from Mariona Caldente. Caitlin Ford is trying to use the defender, I think, to curl it around there. Caitlin Hayes got her block in and Kirby's back to help. Codina. Just went walkabout on that corner. By the time she recovered to go where I suspect her marking duty was, it was too late. Russo, good feet. And there's a lot of blue and white in front of her. Still going, Russo. When you're as good as her, why wouldn't you go for goal? One more for 20 for the season in all competitions. And well, one more for game on. Blackstenius off will mean Russo going up top for sure. I think that's the message from Katie McCabe as she comes on. Mariona Caldente going further forward too. Well, they love Katie McCabe here. No one more wholehearted. And they are going to need it. Plenty of heart and belief in this team then to turn this around. 14 minutes plus whatever remains to try and force 30 more. Cable will be playing a bit further forward, not at left back. Taylor Hines is staying there from the looks of things. Russo emerging, battling away. And anywhere will do. The Irish international Caitlin Hayes, whose goal has Brighton in this surprisingly wonderful position. Kim Little, Smith, Caldente. Arsenal fans like seeing her further forward. Definitely playing more like a 10 now. Arsenal's number 8. And Holmberg, the fullback, playing more like a winger. Can she get there? Nope. Alison Beaumay coming soon for Brighton. An extra defender for what I guess Dario Vidicic will see as an incoming siege. The more defenders you put on, the more likely you are to have that siege. Risk and reward, not for the first time, Liv Smith. Finds herself on the wrong side of a whistle. And is having a bit of a moan up about it. Venegas will eat away any time she can. In fairness, on that occasion, Lydia Smith was unlucky. Nadine Nordam also inbound for Brighton. Big surprise result inbound here. Yellow card. Time wasting. Venegas really bought that free kick. Bought herself a caution as well. Tired looking clearance from her there. Where they brought in from Real Sociedad in the summer window. Again, Russo, the meat in the sandwich. Hayes and Haley squashing her this time. Ford for Hines. Cross comes Charlie's Rule. Too strong. Well, I tell you what, they're doing their best, this Meadow Park crowd, to put as much pressure as they can on Abbey Byrne with every 50-50 call, but the officials staying strong. But, to my mind, they've got most of it right. Get in there and defend everything. Will be the instruction. Ollie Sluggers and Kirby appear to be the two making way, I think, here. Former Chelsea player replacing another. One of them slightly more decorated. Finally some Pomey and Nadine Nordam come on. Nordam for the extra legs, chasing around in the middle of the park there. Just some extra help on that left side where Ollie Sluggers was playing, I think. Minami. Little. Taylor Hines. Right, doing a good job so far, plugging the holes. It's Hayes on the cover here. Kept that in as well. Hines. To Kim Little. Bubban Moy. Everyone in red and white getting forward, and you can expect this to be the way for, well, probably 12 or 13 minutes. Imagine the pressure if they get one. Pomey with the fresh legs, turning that chase into just something a little more for Bubban Moy to do, and tiring her out just a little more as well. Over 2,500 in here again. Not quite their Emirates crowds, obviously, but I wonder how many arrived today thinking this would be a scoreline with 7 minutes and stoppage time to go. Ruben Moy. Right, just holding their shape, filling gaps. Arsenal are going to have to move it quickly. Well, it's those two again, and Liv Smith is not having any joy with Venegas on that flank since her introduction. Swap at right back. Emily Fox has had a few breathers of late because of the emergence of Smelia Holmberg, and now she replaces her. So Arsenal effectively back to their strongest available 11, if you like. And with the exception of the injured Steph Catley, they're actually the team they have on the field right now. It's same as the one they kicked off with at Stamford Bridge. The difference being that Hines was on. Lara Codina the other at the back. Ruben Moyes comes forward. Deflection on the cross. Arsenal have a corner, and Arsenal still retain belief, and so they should. They're a fine team. They've been doing an awful lot of winning lately and scoring tons and tons of goals. They got 5 minutes in stoppage time to score 2 of them here. But, Katie McCabe is not going to take it. Here she is. She just left. 300 Arsenal appearance today after Kim Little went past 400 a couple of weeks ago. It's low and it's cleared by Haley. Not a great corner, not a great clearance. Shot coming in from Caldente is Smith. In towards Ford, Little, and Smith, and La Codina! Lashes one through the crowd, and Nadozi might have seen that late, which makes it a better save. And it is officially siege time. Smith launches it in there, and Nadozi will claim it and jump on it. Let's see if the 8-second rule's upheld here. Now, how late did the Nigerian keeper see this one here? Fairly, I would suggest. There's a lot of bodies between her and that ball. Codina's one goal this season was in the other cup competition, the win against Crystal Palace. And I guess with the attempted clearance, Nordam trying to get in the way, but it's coming back again. Layoff from Ford was a little bit sloppy. Smiling Madison Haley with Rachel McLaughlin getting ready to add whatever she can to this defensive line. Dario Vidicic on the verge of something pretty special here. Not unprecedented, but pretty special. He's got an impromptu timeout ahead of what looks like a final change. Probably Haley going off. That is what started the Brighton party, and what a hit it was. Followed up by the Caitlin Hayes header. Before his time, when Melissa Phillips was in charge, Brighton were semi-finalists, and very good they were too against Manchester United. Only a late Rachel Williams off the bench, obviously. The United goal, 3-2, that semi-final finished. Just confirmation there it is, McLaughlin for Haley. So right back for a right winger. Many attacking options on the field at the moment for Brighton. An interesting game if Arsenal do work the miracle and take it to extra time. Final minute of normal time. Fox, Caldente, Emily Fox again. Nicely done, Kim Little. Got to get the ball in the box though. Fox does that. Headed out by Minami. And it's about seconds. Nordam. Camacho will just head it as far away as she can. Inevitably it'll come back. How much added time? We're about to find out. That's a good ball, is it, for Caldente, who's out of stride and couldn't get it under control. Eight added minutes. Hence the roar from most of those inside Meadow Park, and a groan from the little pocket of Brighton fans. Jankovic to Camacho. Every pass is a couple of seconds for Brighton. They'll be bold enough to keep it rather than just sit back. Cheap turnovers, not what required. McCabe. Anytime you have an underdog winning away at a favourite, you probably need two things to happen. You need to be on it as the underdog, and you need your host to have an off day. So far that's happened, and it continues to happen. That was a very difficult angle for Alessia Russo. Had she somehow found a way to roof it, we might have had 6 minutes of mayhem. Dozy down. This will just get more added on. Knee in the head won't hurt, but the cramp might. Fran Kirby. Arsenal's cursing the cup again by the looks of things. Twice over, scoring in wins in finals against the Gunners. I'll remind you, 2016, the last time Arsenal did. When the FA Cup, Frank Kirby was in that Chelsea team that day that was beaten. She might have put the gloss on it with a third here. But a serial winner in her prime. And it would appear another FA Cup semi-final coming up for Kirby and co. Camacho. Excellent second half from her in place of Seike. Nordam, the urge to keep it, I'm sure, absolutely did not look for the cross. Perfect, job done, a few seconds eaten up. The Dutch player they brought in from Ajax a little over a year ago, and she's won the throw. Tut for the foul throw. Caldente. It's a poor pass for Fox, and Pomel just poke it forwards. It went out of play, actually, and Arsenal have to get on with it. It's not exactly kitchen sink, is it, from the Gunners here? Now, is that a foul? Liv Smith and Venegas again. Well, they've bought a couple off one another already during this second half. Venegas has been cautioned, which is why the Arsenal fans are chanting. Butter wouldn't melt in the Colombian's mouth there. Well, it's a milestone appearance for Katie McCabe. If she sticks this in, they've got maybe 3 minutes to get another. And maybe once a season, she will stick one of these in. Mariona Caldente may yet take it, but you'd think it would favour McCabe's left boot. One far off, was it? I think that might be that. Dozy may have had it covered anyway, had it been the right side of the post from McCabe's point of view. Doesn't get many, but they're often brilliant when she does get them. Simon's eased out of it. Helped forward by Smith. No centre forward there. Russo was back with the collective fight. Nadozi eating up every moment she can. What a famous victory this is going to be. And a real disappointment from her point of view at the end of what's been a great week. Through to play Lyon in the Champions League semi-finals. Heavily expected, with a heavily rotated side of top quality international footballers, to make it through to another semi-final here today. But it is just not happening, and it's not going to there. I'm afraid Lara Codina has not had a good day at the office as we go into the final minute of stoppage time. Smith on the sprint, as she has been all day. Nadozi is there. Fox trying to find some room for the cross. Get a free cross now. It's a corner, but it may be the last action anyway. Mind you, we have had a couple of little stoppages during stoppage time. Percentage corner is deep towards Russo. Miley Sampome is there. Russo goes down. Nothing doing as Van Domselaar launches it. Russo is still down, by the way. Never mind the penalty. What if she's injured for Arsenal's running? Mariona Caldente with the cross. They're not getting that call either. Now they are. They've got a free kick in about the fourth time of asking. Pome backtracking it well. She did tread on her foot. It's completely unwitting. Just look there. That is the sort of thing I think football purists don't want to ever be a penalty. And VAR, once the women's game gets it, will give us one. Whether it actually would have made any difference, surely there wouldn't be time to get another anyway, even if they had scored from the spot. But anyway, we're in the 100th minute here. Mariona Caldente for Arsenal. A few flicks and a solid block, hoisted back in by Hines, in towards Russo. And Rusa trying to pull the trigger here, with Caldente in behind her, and La Codina. And it is a right old scrap. Where's the football? It's out of play, and that'll do it surely. A check of the watch, and a blow of the whistle. And it is a famous and totally deserved win for Brighton. Big underdogs. Never mind that. They have come to Meadow Park and they have shut down and shut out Arsenal. A winning machine, a scoring machine, but not today. Quicker out the blocks, and then again in the second half, a cracking goal from Madison Haley, and then a powerful header from Caitlin Hayes. And Brighton, one of the least fancied in the last 8, have made it through to the last 4. It'll be Liverpool or Charlton, it'll be Chelsea or Tottenham, it'll be Birmingham or Manchester City, but it definitely won't be Arsenal, and it definitely will be Brighton and Hove Albion in the semi-finals of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. What a fantastic performance this has been. Through and on merit, no smash and grab here. The best team has won this quarter-final. Arsenal 0, Brighton 2. Well, let's have a recap of the main moments of the first of the 4 quarter-finals on FA Cup weekend. Brighton were really sharp from kick-off. This just a couple of minutes in. Good pressure on the ball. Jankovic dispossessing Kim Little, and then really testing Daphne van Domselaar. It's one of the better saves we saw. Van Domselaar was powerless to stop this happening from the resultant corner, but Kim Little, thankfully for Van Domselaar, was on the line to stick out a knee or a thigh and get a piece of it. Charlize Rule with the shot through the crowd. Brighton absolutely the better side in the first quarter of an hour, and then Arsenal looked the more dangerous for the remainder of the first half. Their first shot of any distinction was this one here, coming in from Mariona Caldente. Made some room, hit the target, but Shamaka Nadozi pretty comfortably behind it. Arsenal averaging 3.5 goals a game during their 11-game winning streak that they had up until last weekend. This, arguably their best chance here. It's Amelia Holmberg, the young right-back, timing her run beautifully to meet a fabulous Chloe Kelly-Cross. And Nadozi spread herself as wide as she could, and it made all the difference. 9 times out of 10, that one would go in. But this was the 1 out of 10. Stina Blackstenius was penalised for a foul there, so that wouldn't have counted anyway. But she did put the ball in the net. really create so much. Really struggling to do it. And then this happened. Good ball up to Madison Haley. Kirby found her again. And then you're thinking some sort of control, maybe a cross. Not a bit of it. Madison Haley, despite the awkward angle, running away from goal, burning past Lara Cordina and smashing it past Daphne van Domselot. Her second FA Cup goal of this campaign, and her biggest Brighton goal yet since joining. Carla Camacho replaced Kiko Seike up front for Brighton in the second half and was a constant pest, actually. This was her here, getting it from Kirby. Decent effort from the Spanish forward. And then Haley nearly in to meet her cross there, well defended by Taylor Hines. At this point, Brighton had become the better side in this tie, no doubt about it, and the more dangerous. And 1-0 became 2-0 here. Lara Cordina took the scenic route to get to Caitlin Hayes. She didn't get there in time. And the Irish international looping her header beyond Van Domselot. Just watch number 5 here for Arsenal. That way, then that way. Too late by the time she got there. And from a pleasing surprise lead to the dreamland of 2-0 for Brighton. And the record 14-time winners in huge trouble. 10 years since they won the FA Cup. Well, they're not going to win it this year. They nearly conceded another straight after 2-0. Look how well they hunted in a pack there. Camacho across the face and Fran Kirby just emerging in between Bub Moy. And Taylor Hines here, and look how close she is to making this 3-0. Into McCabe's corner. With Arsenal throwing everyone forward here. Eventually the ball drops to Kim Little, who had a go. Smith had a go, and then Lara Cordina had a go. Beaten out by Nadozi. But across the 98 minutes, Shamaka Nadozi made 2 or 3 pretty standard saves and 1 very good one. That is it. The last nearly moment for Arsenal was this, and a very difficult one it was too for one of the subs. Alessia Russo brought on early in the second half, time to run well. Tough shot to keep down. Brighton the winners. Well, 18 attempts from Arsenal, sounds like they were really hammering at the door, but 3 on target, that tells you much, much more. Brighton had 7 attempts on target, they defended well, and they finished when it mattered. Ahead on just about every metric that matters, including the main one. Well, a real surprise and a real disappointment for Arsenal. They still have their European crown to try and defend. Maybe even a late dart at the WSL title, but they are out of the cup. It's going to be 11 years in waiting for them, while Brighton march on to the semi-finals, and they have absolutely deserved this. 2-0 winners today. From all of us, it's goodbye.